In the vast world of international power struggles, the United States has long been a trailblazer, determined to control conflicts far from its shores. This journey into naval innovation began over a century ago in 1910, when an audacious experiment unfolded on the deck of the American Cruiser Birmingham. An aircraft that defied gravity took off from the very deck of a warship and landed safely. It was a momentous leap in aviation history, and by 1915, the U.S. Navy had developed a catapult to launch planes from ships, solidifying the United States' pioneering role in naval aviation. Now, in this present-day world, aircraft carriers emerge as unbeatable champions of worldwide impact. Their unparalleled ability to swiftly respond to crises, carry out humanitarian missions, and execute a wide range of military operations has made them legendary. These colossal ships become dynamic mobile command hubs, extending a nation's reach to the far corners of the planet. Join us as we explore the U.S. $100 billion next-generation aircraft carriers that are finally ready for action. Amidst the chaotic 20th century, the United States Navy embarked on a remarkable journey with a fleet boasting 18 diverse types of aircraft carriers. Yet this extraordinary lineage had the most unassuming of origins, the CV-1 Langley. Originally a coal-carrying vessel, it underwent a miraculous transformation, emerging as the world's first aircraft carrier in the early 20th century. This transformation was nothing short of a naval revolution, as it ushered in the audacious concept of aircraft operations at sea. Named in honor of aviation pioneer Samuel Pierpont Langley, the vessel's destiny was forever changed. Its wooden flight deck, a mere fraction of the size of its modern counterparts, became the stage for audacious takeoffs and daring landings. In 1922, the Langley embarked on its maiden voyage, etching its name in history and laying the very foundations for naval aviation and carrier-based operations. However, it was during the maelstrom of World War II that the world bore witness to the airship's impact. This global conflict was the crucible in which the seamless integration of naval and air forces forged a formidable partnership, extending their operational reach to unprecedented levels. As other nations gazed upon this spectacle and began to develop their carriers, a relentless competition ignited. It was a race fueled by the belief that the nation wielding the mightiest carrier held the key to victory. This fierce rivalry gave birth to the legendary supercarrier concept, a concept that the United States wholeheartedly embraced, forever altering the course of naval warfare. In the heart of the tumultuous seas, the USS Enterprise CVN-65 was the world's first nuclear aircraft carrier, also known as the Big E. This is the tallest ship of its kind. The ship retired on September 1, 2012, after 51 years of service. This was due to the end of the nuclear reactor's life and high maintenance costs. The Enterprise is the world's largest nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. It was 342 meters long and was built in 1958 for $451 million, with about 4,600 people, including 250 pilots, stationed on the warship. The aircraft carrier was powered by 8 Westinghouse nuclear reactors with a maximum speed of 62 kilometers per hour. Its reactors were the first generation of nuclear reactors that were intricately linked to 2 shaft axles, providing unparalleled propulsion that could not be recycled and removed from the ship. And this caused the ship to be scrapped in 2016. A nuclear-powered supercarrier surged through the waves at an astonishing speed of over 35 knots, an unrelenting force that could be sustained for a staggering 5 years without the need for refueling. Its arsenal of fuzzy array radars blanketed the horizon, ensuring unwavering vigilance and unparalleled radar coverage. This groundbreaking radar system would go on to grace vessels equipped with the advanced Aegis system and numerous other military ships. Over time, the USS Enterprise witnessed a continuous evolution and a relentless pursuit of perfection. Countless updates and upgrades were made to its machinery, aircraft, electronic systems, weaponry, and reactors, propelling it to the zenith of naval prowess. The USS Enterprise stood as the vanguard, the harbinger of nuclear-powered supremacy, forever altering the course of naval history. It was involved in many wars, including the U.S.-Iraq Wars in 1991 and 2003. The ship, weighing 85,000 tons, along with its accompanying military vessels, crossed the Suez Canal to the Persian Gulf on April 7, 2012, amid tight security measures, and left the Persian Gulf on May 1, 2012. Requests were made to convert the warship to a museum, but after calculating the cost of maintaining its nuclear reactor, converting the vessel to a museum was deemed impossible. This aircraft earned its distinction through its participation in the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, when the USS Enterprise swiftly responded to the situation. U-2 spy planes had exposed a Soviet missile facility on Cuban territory, dangerously near the shores of Florida in California. The danger was imminent, leading to the quick deployment of U.S. troops along the Florida coastline. As tensions escalated, the prospect of war loomed large. Yet behind-the-scenes diplomacy prevailed, and on October 28th, the crisis de-escalated, though it had brought the world perilously close to the edge. From the ashes of history, a new titan emerged, the USS Gerald R. Ford, CVN-78, the harbinger of the next generation of aircraft carriers. This maritime marvel boasts the jaw-dropping ability to operate for a staggering half-century on a single reserve of nuclear fuel. It houses an impressive complement of 90 aircraft, helicopters, and cutting-edge UAVs, including the formidable F-35C fighters. But that's not all. This technological marvel features 3 electromagnetic catapults that catapult it into enhanced acceleration and performance. And if you're imagining it as a mere vessel, think again. It stretches an astonishing 337 meters in length, spans 78 meters in width, and soars to a height of 76 meters, even surpassing the grandeur of the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist in New York. This Leviathan of the seas weighs close to 100,000 tons and can slice through the ocean at speeds reaching up to 30 knots, or a hair-raising 34 miles per hour. What truly fuels this colossal powerhouse is an engineering marvel. 2 Bechtel A-1B nuclear reactors lie at its heart, each generating a mind-boggling 700 megawatts, or 952,000 horsepower. Yes, you heard that right, almost 2 million horsepower in total. However, such power comes with an equally staggering price tag of $13 billion, a testament to the cost of maintaining military supremacy on the high seas. Yet the story doesn't end with Gerald Ford alone. Aircraft carriers don't operate in isolation during combat. They are the crown jewels of carrier strike groups. These formidable fleets typically include not just one aircraft carrier, but also 1 to 4 guided missile cruisers, 2 or 3 destroyers or frigates, and 1 or 2 multi-purpose nuclear-powered submarines, all flanked by supply vessels. This tactical configuration allows a carrier strike group to flex its muscle with 6 to 10 warships, or potentially even more, adapting to the demands of the mission. Fast nuclear-powered aircraft carrier strike groups are a closely related concept, but they have their own twist, an emphasis on speed and flexibility. These groups comprise an aircraft carrier, 2 nuclear-powered cruisers, 1 nuclear-powered multi-purpose submarine, and the ever-essential supply vessels. The sheer might of these groups translates into up to 9,000 personnel, with a significant portion stationed on the aircraft carrier itself. Operating independently for up to 14 days, they can strike targets at sea up to 575 miles away and unleash destruction on shore at distances of around 1,000 miles. Their ability to traverse vast distances of 700 to 800 miles within a single day not only shrouds them in operational secrecy, but also enables rapid deployment to strategically designated areas, making them a force to be reckoned with on the global stage. Then there is the USS Theodore Roosevelt, which was commissioned on October 2, 1986. It is a mighty aircraft carrier bearing the moniker Big Stick and is currently stationed in the Pacific Fleet. Recently, the veil of secrecy shrouding Theodore Roosevelt's formidable fleet was partially lifted, thanks to videos and images that surfaced on YouTube. The visuals showcased this behemoth of the seas leading a formation that included not just an aircraft carrier, but also a cruiser and an astonishing 5 destroyers, all armed to the teeth with guided missiles. The standard composition of a U.S. Navy assault fleet typically comprises an aircraft carrier, a missile-equipped warship, and 2 or 3 missile-armed destroyers. The cruiser assumes the role of escort and serves as the primary guardian of the aircraft carrier, especially in the face of potential aerial threats. Nestled within this formidable fleet, a nuclear submarine operates stealthily, lurking beneath the waves to neutralize both surface and subsurface dangers. However, what sets the Theodore Roosevelt apart from conventional U.S. Navy battle groups is the sheer number of its aircraft carrier escorts. Leading the charge is the USS Bunker Hill, the oldest Ticonderoga-class cruiser equipped with the advanced Aegis combat system. This potent system includes the Spy-1 air defense radar and a staggering 122 vertical missile launchers. Each of these launch systems is armed with SM-2, SM-6, and ESSM anti-aircraft missiles, along with Tomahawk cruise missiles designed for ground targets and anti-submarine rocket torpedoes. Accompanying this powerhouse cruiser are 5 Burke-class destroyers, namely the USS Pinckney, USS Russell, USS Paul Hamilton, USS Kidd, and USS Rafael Peralta. While the USS Russell and USS Hamilton are elder statesmen of the Burke class, lacking helicopter hangars, the USS Rafael Peralta stands as one of the fleet's newest additions. The true firepower of these 5 destroyers lies in their arsenal of 90 to 96 vertically guided missile launch silos each, amassing an astounding total of 468 silos across the fleet. To complement this formidable naval escort, the USS Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier carries a formidable air wing, featuring 44 FA-18E and F fighter jets, approximately 5 EA-18G Growler electronic warfare jets, and 4 E-2D Hawkeye early warning aircraft or their predecessors, the E-2C and C-2A Greyhound propeller aircraft. Additionally, Roosevelt's air wing included 19 MH-60 helicopters, forming a potent and versatile airborne force ready to project power and protect national interests on the high seas. The new giant $11 billion U.S. aircraft carrier, the USS John F. Kennedy, the last part of the main hull of this ship, weighed nearly 800 tons, which is equal to the weight of 13 large battle tanks, and its construction took a year and a half. The shipbuilders, tasked with building the newest U.S. aircraft carrier, installed the flight deck of the ship, which weighed more than 780 tons, using a very large crane. The USS John F. Kennedy is the second naval vessel in the Ford class after the USS Gerald R. Ford, which had been delayed due to unexpected problems and increased maintenance costs. The installation of John F. Kennedy's upper hull at the Newport News shipyard completed the ship's main hull, which is more than 1,096 feet in length. More than 3,200 shipbuilders and 2,000 equipment suppliers are involved in the construction of the John F. Kennedy aircraft carrier, which was launched in 2019. While the United States is not the only country to build aircraft carriers, no country has ever been able to reach the size of the Ford-class aircraft carrier, powered by nuclear energy. The 110,000-ton USS Gerald R. Ford, powered by nuclear reactors, was launched during an official ceremony at Norfolk Naval Station in Virginia. U.S. President Donald Trump at the ceremony called the ship a message to the world of 100,000 U.S. tons. The $13 billion Ford-class aircraft carrier will replace the Nimitz models now serving in the Navy. The construction of this giant ship, however, cost $2.4 billion more than the projected budget. And that is why it is considered a big gamble for the U.S. military. Ford-class aircraft carriers are modified Nimitz-class ships. One of these changes is the tripling of electricity generation compared to Nimitz-class ships. The Gerald Ford aircraft carrier uses A-1B nuclear reactors that, in addition to taking advantage of many technologies and advances, do not have the limitations of the reactors used in Nimitz-class ships. Each of the A-1B reactors is capable of generating 300 megawatts of electrical energy. The reactors used in the Nimitz series could only produce 100 megawatts of energy. Advances in the construction of new reactors, in addition to increasing energy production, have also reduced maintenance costs as well as the size of the reactor. We can mention the design of the new aircraft's electromagnetic flight system. Using this system, Ford-class ships can increase the number of flights by up to 25 per day compared to the previous system. The increase in electrical energy generated by Ford-class aircraft carriers is also affecting the weapons used. With this feature, Ford-class ships can use laser weapons as well as relays that require a lot of electricity. The large size of the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier made it possible to accommodate more than 4,400 crew members alongside 80 aircraft, a fighter-launch electromagnetic system developed by the U.S. Navy. This is an aircraft launch system using a DC electromagnetic linear motor drive that replaces the old steam piston system. Other benefits of this system include reduced costs, easier maintenance, the ability to launch light and heavy aircraft, less weight, less space to occupy, and no need for fresh water, which, compared to the steam piston model, costs much less to run and maintain. The linear induction motor consists of a row of stator windings that are a function of the rotor of a conventional motor that accelerates the aircraft up to 240 kilometers per hour. This motor requires a lot of electrical energy in a few seconds, so each rotor is capable of storing 100 megajoules and can be recharged in 45 seconds. The sheer might of U.S. aircraft carriers has served as a catalyst, compelling nations across the globe to embark on their journeys to develop formidable carriers. One nation that stands at the forefront of this challenge is China, armed with a potent arsenal that poses a significant challenge to U.S. carriers. Central to this threat is the Dongfeng 21D anti-ship ballistic missile, boasting a lethal reach of 1,100 miles. This formidable weapon can target agile aircraft carrier strike groups using mobile land-based launchers, enhanced by China's advanced satellite capabilities like the Yaogan series and maritime electronic surveillance satellites. The cost-effectiveness of producing multiple Dongfeng 21 missiles compared to the expense of a single U.S. aircraft carrier underscores the gravity of this threat. While a solitary missile may not sink a carrier, a massive salvo hurtling at high speeds presents a daunting challenge to carrier defenses. The range limitation of an aircraft carrier's primary asset, its aircraft, comes to the forefront, with aircraft like the FA-18E Super Hornet boasting ranges of 390 to 450 nautical miles. In stark contrast, the DF-21D anti-ship missile boasts an estimated range of 1,100 miles, dwarfing the operational reach of carrier-based aircraft. This raises pressing concerns about the carrier's effective deployment and its capacity to strike enemy naval forces. China further amplifies its threat with missile boats armed with numerous cruise missiles, adding another layer of complexity and danger for carriers. Russia joins this formidable challenge with its Granite anti-ship cruise missiles and the cutting-edge Zircon hypersonic missiles. While Granite's range aligns with the reach of carrier-based aircraft, the Zircon missile, with its impressive 1,000 kilometer range and hypersonic velocity, poses a considerably graver threat. Simulations indicate that a single hit from a Granite missile can temporarily impair an aircraft carrier, though it would require multiple hits to render it non-operational. In contrast, the Zircon missile represents a more potent menace, and Russia plans to replace the Granite with this advanced weapon. Moving beyond this, the global landscape of aircraft carriers encompasses a spectrum of capabilities and roles. Thailand, for instance, operates a light aircraft carrier, one of the world's 11 largest warships. Although primarily tasked with search and rescue operations and supporting its aircraft, the carrier's combat effectiveness is notably constrained due to limited funding. As a result, it often remains moored, attracting inquisitive tourists who gain rare access to explore its decks. On the rare occasions it sets sail, it frequently carries members of Thailand's royal family, endowing it with the moniker Family Royal Yacht. This carrier, constructed in 1996, stretches 183 meters in length and possesses a displacement of 11,485 tons, housing up to 14 airplanes and helicopters, while requiring a crew of 455 individuals. Italy claims a spot on the roster with its aircraft carrier Cavour, a tribute to Italian statesman Count Cavour. Commissioned in 2009, the vessel spans 244 meters in length and is equipped with a flight deck capable of accommodating 8 AV-8B Harrier aircraft and 12 helicopters. It exhibits remarkable versatility, capable of transporting over 500 personnel, 24 tanks, or 50 heavy combat vehicles. France has also secured a spot with its aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle, a successor to outdated Clemenceau-class carriers. This imposing vessel measures 261.5 meters in length, boasting a displacement of 42,000 tons. It possesses the capacity to support up to 40 aircraft, with its primary air group consisting of Dassault Rafale fighters, acknowledged as some of the most formidable fourth-generation European fighters, standing shoulder to shoulder with the British Eurofighter Typhoon. Notably, Charles de Gaulle holds the distinction of being the sole non-American aircraft carrier powered by a nuclear reactor, with a crew count, including the air group, of 1,500. This carrier has actively engaged in global combat operations, including its role in the Afghanistan conflict against the Taliban during the 1990s. France's aspirations extend further, with plans to acquire a new aircraft carrier in the 2030s, boasting a displacement of 75,000 tons and nearly double the size of Charles de Gaulle, measuring 300 meters in length and 30 meters in width. Then there is India's aircraft carrier Vikramaditya, which translates to Almighty in Sanskrit. It has a length of 274 meters and a displacement of 45,000 tons. Originally the Russian aircraft carrier Admiral Gorshkov, launched in 1987, it underwent extensive modernization at the Russian shipyard Sevmash before its transfer to India in 2013. Vikramaditya can house up to 30 aircraft, including 14 MiG-29K fighters and various Russian-made helicopters, including the K-27 and K-31. Lastly, the British aircraft carrier Queen Elizabeth, which has graced the seas since its launch in 2007 and subsequent commissioning in 2017. This magnificent vessel stretches 284 meters in length, boasting an impressive displacement of 70,600 tons. Its aviation group features a comprehensive complement of 40 aircraft encompassing F-35C aircraft, EH-101 Merlin helicopters, and long-range radar helicopters. The total crew count, inclusive of air personnel, reaches 1,500. The aircraft carrier landscape is an ever-evolving theater, marked by both competition and cooperation as nations seek to assert their maritime capabilities on the world stage. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link appearing on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.